In this video, we're diving into the world of Shou Sugi Ban. I'll be sharing my personal DIY experience of making and installing burnt wood siding on our off-grid cabin, the ups and downs of the process, and some tips and tricks to help if you're considering trying this yourself. But first, what is Shou Sugi Ban? Well, it's an ancient Japanese traditional technique for preserving wood by charring its surface. Being a durable and cost-effective way to protect wood siding, the technique was widely used for centuries in rural Japan. Modern alternatives then pushed it aside, but it's been making a big comeback because apart from being durable and cost-efficient, it's also natural, chemical-free, sustainable, and undeniably beautiful. When planning our off-grid cabin, I had a checklist for the siding. I wanted to blend beautifully with the surrounding forest, age gracefully, require minimal maintenance, be sourced locally, and preferably cost nothing. Pretty great checklist, right? But Shou Sugi Ban seemed to tick all the boxes. Traditionally, the method uses cedar wood. The translation of Shou Sugi Ban is actually burnt cedar board. We don't have any cedar here in Sweden, but what we do have a lot of here on the farm is spruce. So I decided to work with what we have and cut the boards myself at our sawmill. The burning method itself is very simple. You bind 3 boards into a chimney shape and light the bottom. That's it, and as the fire catches, it draws air up through the chimney, creating an intense heat that evenly burns the boards. When flames shoot at the top, you wait another minute, then simply knock the chimney over and extinguish the fire. To achieve the right level of protection, the board needs to be burned to a deep scaly texture. Now, while this method is efficient, it still requires a bit of patience. With 3 to 4 chimneys going at once, I could burn about 60 meters of boards per hour, which sounds okay, but factoring setup, cooling, cutting and stacking, it easily doubles the time. Things ran a bit smoother in the end of the process though, as I for example eventually found that boards that were 2 to 2.5 meters long and 5 to 6 inches wide gave the best results. Apart from burnt siding, I also wanted to try shingles, so I combined those ideas in the project, cutting the boards on the wood cutter and sealed the end wood with the weed burner. Now, when it comes to aesthetics, burnt wood has a really rustic, rugged look, and it's quite definite in the sense that if you want to change it, you can't simply repaint a charred surface. Instead, you need to change the whole siding. As an option, if you prefer a bit cleaner look, you can brush off the charred top layer with a steel brush. Doing so, however, reduces the siding's weather resistance a bit, and it takes quite some effort and time to brush all boards manually. Another option, if you want just a light, more controlled char, is to burn the surface using a weed burner. But this doesn't seal the surface, so it requires additional treatment with oil to protect it. When comparing these 3 approaches, the fully charred version is the most durable and maintenance-free option. It's also the fastest and cheapest. It's however also the most rustic looking, so it really depends on what look you're going for. If you're unsure about the full rustic look and want the flexibility to paint in the future, a lighter burn might be the better choice. Then it was time to install them. My plan was to cover the whole exterior in burnt shingles, roof, porch, walls, everything. What I didn't really anticipate was how much time the installation would take, nailing piece by piece and aligning the rows with doors, windows and making sure that the corners lined up nicely. That really took its time and tested my patience more than once, but in the end the results were stunning and the cabin really blended beautifully with the surrounding forest. So, what did I learn from this process and was the siding free? Well, the wood itself came from our farm and charring the boards didn't cost anything, so sure, but considering fuel, electricity and of course the countless hours of labor put in, it wasn't exactly free, but the biggest challenge for me was time. I deeply underestimated how long everything would take, especially installation. If I could do it again to save time, I'd definitely organize things more efficiently around the burning process, use full-length boards instead of shingles, and recruit an extra set of hands. DIYing this project wasn't all downhill. I could only work on it now and then, and there were a couple of frustrating days where it felt like this is taking forever, what am I doing, that I had to push through, but in the end it was all worth it. I'm really happy about how it turned out and all the boxes on my checklist was ticked off. So to sum it up, if you love the rustic look and have the time and want something natural, sustainable and maintenance free and don't want to spend a fortune on siding, Shou Sugi Ban might be a fantastic option for you when creating your dream cabin. thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you're considering your own Shou Sugi Ban siding project, drop a comment below.